In 2014, Blizzard Entertainment released its first ever digital card game onto the market, known as Hearthstone: Heroes of Warcraft. It contained only 2 modes for its players to compete in, one being ladder, where players can take their constructed decks composed of 30 cards across 9 different iconic Warcraft classes and battle each other to climb the ranks from rank 25 Angry Chicken all the way to rank 1 Legend. The other was the arena, where you could draft a 30-card deck from random choices, battle against other players who also drafted their own unique decks, and that you either conquered the arena by winning 12 games or being vanquished from the arena after 3 losses. Years passed before a new mode was introduced to the game. Solo ventures such as Nexramas and Blackrock Mountain were added to the game that had players face off against pre-constructed AI-controlled boss battles and were met with high praise, even if the AI play was a bit suspect at times. Finally, in 2015, the first new game mode was added to the game in Tavern Brawl, where players could enter into custom game scenarios, where they would face off with other players and be rewarded with the classic pack for winning their games. The mode was met with praise, but was notably just a minor addition. No new modes were added to Hearthstone for years, until Hearthstone Battlegrounds emerged in the winter of 2019 and took not only Hearthstone players, but gamers in general by storm. It was Blizzard's take on the new popular trend of auto battlers that have been recently popular with games such as Auto Chess and TFT. The mode was a huge success. It has arguably become Hearthstone's top mode, with Battleground streamers constantly being at the top of Twitch, and even by Firestone statistic, a popular deck tracker, is as of today the most popular game mode in Hearthstone, even overtaking the classic ladder experience. This success spurred on excitement for Hearthstone to launch even more modes, and the community could not wait to see what they were going to come up with. Duels emerged a year later, which was a take on the solo adventures known as dungeon runs, where players would build unique and crazy decks based on random treasures and passive abilities. And although the mode has not been as successful at the level of Battlegrounds, it has a loyal and dedicated fan base and continues to grow in popularity to this day, with prolific content creators such as Regis Kilbin making consistent and popular content revolving around the mode, and has a very vocal and dedicated dev team that continuously updates the mode and listens to feedback from the community how to constantly improve it. However, when Duels was launched, it was noted by many that in the Hearthstone roadmap for that year, there was still another game mode to be revealed that wasn't Duels. The community was rather stunned that there was something more to be unveiled, and the hype around this unnamed mode was tremendous. Finally, on February 19th, 2021, on a blog post, Hearthstone Mercenaries was initially unveiled, but only with minor details. The main takeaway was that it would feature strategic RPG gameplay and roguelike missions that provide a fresh set of challenges every time you play. The mode's release ultimately was delayed, with a launch date and mode reveal to come later that year. And it wasn't until the fall of 2021 where Hearthstone Mercenaries was finally unveiled in a live stream presentation hosted by Hearthstone game director Ben Lee. It did not go very well. Players were left confused as to how the game mode worked. They were overloaded with technical information despite not being taught the basic mechanics of the game mode, and aggressively priced pre-orders were shown with a brand new pack system unique to Hearthstone and coin system that players again had no idea how it would work, and well, it scared a lot of people right out the gate. Social media ate this presentation alive. The Hearthstone subreddit was filled with memes taking jabs at the presentation, and even PC Gamer wrote an article on how the presentation was effectively a how not to on how to reveal a game mode. The confusion was so bad around the reveal that Trump, one of the most iconic Hearthstone content creators, created a video series explaining how the game mode itself would work, with Blizzard finally following suit later on with a much better received gameplay trailer explaining the basics of the mode. Hearthstone Mercenaries finally launched on October 12th, 2021 to a mixed reaction. Many players were already skeptical about it based on the rather bad reveal, and content creators were also apprehensive about streaming it, with prominent Battleground streamer Slissa passing on the opportunity to even stream the mode after gaining early access to it due to the fear fear of its lack of streamability. The mode's launch actually saw decent numbers across Twitch and YouTube, with Kripparrian, one of the largest Hearthstone creators in particular, investing a large amount of time into this mode, as did Trump, Regis Kilbin, and we even saw newcomers in Team America and Roran have their numbers take off as they excelled at creating new high-level Mercenaries content. Despite its rocky start, the mode was actually looking like it could take off. Sadly, this was basically the peak of the mode as the Mercenaries team began to make questionable decision after questionable decision. First, an issue with the mode right away was the lack of ability to nerf or change a mercenary in the mode. In Hearthstone, if a card is too good, it can be changed and that card will give you a full dust refund, the crafting resource used to make cards in Hearthstone, so that you can make other cards. However, Mercenaries' only in-game resource besides the mercenaries themselves is coins. Coins are only good for that specific mercenary and can only be used to upgrade abilities, and once a mercenary has all its abilities maxed out, they are useless. They cannot be used for anything. So if a mercenary is changed, even if you got your coins back for them, they would be useless. This specific balancing issue led to Kripparrian to abandon Mercenaries and go back to full Times Battlegrounds content. Economy in the mode also quickly became a contentious issue as players who quickly maxed out their Mercenaries noticed they would still open coins for these in packs or gain them from tasks or chests or any other ways acquiring coins in the mode, which again are effectively useless. It was also noted that no pity timer existed in the Mercenaries packs, unlike Hearthstone. So even after 40 packs, which in Hearthstone you're guaranteed a legendary minion, you might not get a legendary mercenary, with people opening upwards of 60 to 70 packs without receiving a single legendary mercenary unit. This was despite the fact that the pack rules for both Hearthstone and Mercenaries are written identically, so this fact has basically been hidden from players unless they would find out through a video such as this. Bundles also quickly emerged in the shop that had examples of 600 coins listed as aggressively as $25, which only would max out 2 abilities for said mercenary, when you could compare that to a premium game you could acquire even cheaper than that amount. This left players very frustrated with the absolutely aggressive pricing, and ironically, as greedy as the mode might seem to some players, it actually fails at trying to get players to want to buy packs, as packs actually become worthless, as they mostly will contain coins for mercenaries you already have and can't be used for anything else. For example, I even have over 170 packs myself, none of which I paid for as I got them through in-game tasks, and there's no point of me ever opening them until a new mercenary comes out to quickly unlock it, as the coins I will acquire will literally do nothing. Again, if this is the way Blizzard wants to incentivize whales to spend money on their packs, they are likely going to be left disappointed. And as bad as all of this sounds, this wasn't even the main issue that led to Mercenaries' downfall. What happened next created the true outrage in the community and was the beginning of the true failure of the Hearthstone Mercenaries launch. In Mercenaries, to unlock equipment, to unlock more coins, or to further progress your individual mercenary, you need to complete tasks. These tasks can vary from dealing a certain amount of damage, defeating a heroic bounty, or using a certain ability a set amount of times. The problem with these tasks was the only way to acquire them were to wait either 24 hours where you granted 4 tasks at random, or find a mystery spot on a bounty board where a mystery stranger would appear. However, the mystery spot was not guaranteed to give you a mystery stranger. It could give you a blue portal, which would skip you to the end boss of that bounty. It could give you an EMP, which would allow you to deal massive damage to your enemy or potentially yourself, and other things. However, the mystery stranger, of course, would be the one to give you a task to complete and level up your mercenary. Players quickly found out that by farming a low-level bounty, level 6, known as the Air Elemental, you only had to fight maybe 1 battle before getting to that mystery spot. In a good amount of time, you would find a task from a mystery stranger to complete. This was seen as a godsend to players that wanted to upgrade their units to take them into the PvP to battle against other players, where having a maxed out mercenary was crucial, because a maxed out mercenary not only was more powerful than a regular one, it also got a stat bonus, a stat increase, which could make the difference in a head-to-head mirror battle. Players use this air elemental strategy to farm tasks, but it still was very tedious and taxing to many, with even prominent pro player Luna pleading for Blizzard to add some way of acquiring or purchasing ways to complete these tasks rather than having to grind it out. Blizzard's response to this, however, was not that. Their response was to nerf the appearance of mystery strangers in the air elemental area and all low-level areas in general, now requiring mercenary groups of level 30 to have to fight off in a bounty of level 30 or 28 to realistically and reliably find a mystery stranger, which would require battles of 1, 2, or 3 nodes before you would even get to a mystery spot, making the grind even grindier for many players that were already on the fence with the mode. This incident was horribly communicated through only a Blizzard forum post, actually attached as a note to a balance patch as a hotfix, and was never properly communicated through any balance patch, any official communication other than the forums. This led to community outrage all of social media, which led to game designer Dean Ayala, also known as Igzar, to communicate that Ben Lee, the game director, and other people on the team would take a look and see if they could come up with a solution to improve the situation for players, as, well, their grinding was made worse with nothing else given in return. As of recording this video, nothing has improved with task acquisition, and this incident directly correlated with the drop in players' demand for Mercenaries content. The mode that had its launch already be a near disaster with its trailer reveal had destroyed all good faith it acquired in the first month or so, where players were enjoying a deep and robust PvP system within the game, but felt bogged down by the tedious grind, the greedy pricing, and to make things worse, when Valera was introduced into the game as a new mercenary, she was so powerful that the entire PvP metagame became warped around her. And as mentioned, the mode does not have any balancing in place and created even more outrage in the community, so much that Team America and Warren, the aforementioned streamers who initially blew up with the mode, have both since quit the mode and have gone on to stream and create other content related to Hearthstone. Hearthstone Mercenaries at its core isn't a bad game. The PvP has a ton of complexity and strategy. There is a ton of content to go through if you like to grind through and complete hundreds of tasks and max out a huge roster of mercenaries. You can do it completely free to play if you have the time, but Blizzard continues to be their own worst enemy with mercenaries, with its horrible communication around the format, lack of foresight with balancing, a total disregard for making the game less grindy and tedious for those who want to enjoy the PvP battles, in an outright baffling economy, has left the mode to be the laughingstock of Blizzard game modes and will require a massive overhaul if they ever want to realize this mode's true potential.